Hi everyone, my name is Deanna and I'm the owner of the International Lash Masters. I'd like to welcome you to our webinar today. We are going through what is included in the Lash Educator course so you can make a decision whether it's something that you and your business would like to partake in. We've had over 300 students in the last 10 months enroll, so we're really happy with the success that it's had. However, we get a lot of questions about the course before someone wants to enroll, so I thought a webinar would be the best way to go through everything. So the key takeaways from today's webinar is why you should train and why you should include it in your business, the potential income that you could earn from including lash training or any type of training. It's a good way to how to scale your business to make it grow so you're not stagnant and doing the same thing over and over again. Business growth is very important. You always want to make sure you're doing including another step within your business to expand the boundaries on where you can take your business in the future. It's a good way to network with students and other businesses, and you get the opportunity to mentor new people within the lash industry. So if you feel like you want to take on that mentoring and teacher role, then this is a course that will help you do that effectively. Brand recognition, by including an education funnel within your business, you'll be able to, get that brand recognition that you do provide education and not just lash services. It's a completely different market. I myself have a lash business and I run the International Lash Masters, and even my social media accounts on the two. Complete different group of followers, complete different content. You have to accommodate both, but it's good to include the two different areas because it also expands your reach. And we're going to go through what is actually in the course. So let's get started, shall we? Why do you want to educate? Believe it or not, we've had a lot of students that have enrolled simply for, we've halted their enrollment, of course. However, we got a really good understanding of that they just wanted to do the course for money. And unfortunately, when someone is after the money side of things, you can read it all over them when they speak, what they say. The passion is not there. They're looking for a quick fix to whatever money issues they've got. There's no real drive for them to want to educate others. So if you do want to educate, make sure it is for the right reasons. You want to be able to pass on your experience and passion for lashes to new students within the industry. This is important because when you include and educate new students, you are making a mark on the reputation of the lash industry. Over the last decade, you would have noticed a lot of professional lash artists and business entrepreneurs in this space trying to educate and train people properly to uphold and improve the reputation that the lash industry does have. So all you need is one video of a bad lash application, and that will put off so many customers or potential customers. And if you want to educate, you need to be sure that you are welcoming people into the space with the correct knowledge and skill yourself before you pass on what you know to someone else. You can't take shortcuts because at the end of the day, when they start lashing other people and people ask them who trained them, it's going to come back to you, your business, and your brand and your reputation. So if you're not concerned about the lash industry's reputation, at least care about your own brands, because it does happen. People do ask who train. Obviously, being in the lash industry, word of mouth is a very, very powerful tool. So we are providing you with the tools to educate properly, effectively, and make sure that your business steps forward and educates correctly when you welcome new people. It's a good way. Educating is a great way to provide a new service within your business. Um, it'll bring in a new income stream. So we're not going to deny that the money side of it is good. However, it's a secondary benefit. The first benefit is that you have that passion and drive to want to educate people coming into the industry, and you want to be able to see people, whether it be leave their jobs and work for themselves and, up their income stream, and use that stupid saying that I can't stand, earn a six-figure income. All right, we get it. But there's a lot of other things that go behind earning that six-figure income. Anyone can be a lash artist, but it's the way they're set up initially and what they're taught from inception of their career that'll lead them to that six-figure income. So we believe this course will help you do that because it prepares you to train them effectively. and you're not going in blind. You're not just sitting down with them saying, oh, this is that, and this is what you have to do. The last point on the screen, I think I've just touched on, you help people change their career successfully. So if someone's wanting to leave their job, a 9-to-5 job, and they want to start a career because they've watched you develop a career of what you've shown on socials, or they've seen other people in the space, grow exponentially over the last couple of years due to socials and, their great business ethic, they're coming to you to take that first step. So be that person to support that step. Don't just take their money and do a day course and be like, okay, I've taught you, off you go. They're coming to you. Consider them a child. It's your duty. If they're paying you, if they're looking at you, if they've chosen you, Lash artists, educators are everywhere now. If this person has particularly chosen you to take that next step, then honor that, cherish that, and it's a privilege, and guide them to where they want to go. Sit down with them, ask them what their goals are, ask them where they want to take their business. If they just want to do it for pocket money on the side and work from home, that's one thing. If they want to develop a brand and go from strength to strength, and you can provide them with information on doing that, do it if that's what you want to do. So you want to create a life-changing experience. So you're the expert in this situation. When people are coming to you for education, you to them are the encyclopedia of lashes. So students and potential students will look to you for that guidance. And you're going to be that person that gives them that kick up the butt to change their career, because you have enticed them with all the knowledge that you know for them to go forward. You haven't left them with doubt that they shouldn't do this, or you don't know enough for them to commit 100% to changing. You don't want to scare them off. You need to be that, yep, I've got it. I know what to do. Come in, we'll guide you. So you got to be that person that they can trust to leverage their goals. And our course will help you go into training having everything planned so that you don't hesitate and you don't doubt yourself one little bit when you're going into that training. We get questions about our course all the time, so I thought I'd put some FAQs and give you some brief facts about the course. So how long will the course take? It's a self-paced course, so you can do one activity once a week or once a day. Once you do an activity, you'll get an assessment. You submit the assessment in the program. It'll get sent to us. We will assess it and provide you with feedback, whether there needs to be a little bit more detail or if you've done it sufficiently, and accept it. Once that's accepted, you can go on to the next activity. So you can't do all the activities, submit them all, and then we get back to you. It's a step-by-step process so we can see your progress. And we find that the best way, because if you were able to submit everything and then we were to tell you to go back to assessment 1, you probably wouldn't remember what the assessment was. So we do it step by step to make sure that everything, all the knowledge and the skills and everything is set up. So these assessments will help you frame your course. So once you've finished our educator course, you'll be able to look back at all the activities you've done and sit back and say, right, this is what's going in my course, and you can actually use the assessments for your course. They're not just like activities that you do and then throw out, knowledge activities. They're proper skills and frameworks for your course. So I've just answered how the assessments are marked, so we'll skip that. Sorry, I'm just talking off the cuff here. I didn't want it to be too formal. I just wanted to run through all the information that you needed. Will I receive a certificate upon completion? Yes, you will. So we will give you a certificate saying that you've completed our course, and we will also send you our logo. So our logo can be placed on your student certificates. You could also tag us in your Instagram bio so people know that you have done our course. A lot of people have done that so far. And this is good because we also get a lot of people asking us if we can recommend Lash educators to them. So I'm talking potential Lash Lash students, people that have no idea. So I often get a lot of DMs on my Instagram asking me if I can recommend any educators. So I'll ask them where they're located, and of course I'll recommend one of our educators. So this is always good. This is why we provide you with our logo. Yes, you can use it. Is the course accredited? I hate this question. I feel as though people should know what accredited means by now, especially if they've already got a Lash business. However, we do get asked this a lot. Accreditation, the word accreditation is associated with government education courses. So anything in Australia that's on training.gov website, anything that is produced by the government or like a TAFE course, a university or college degree, things like that are accredited. This is a private course. This course fills a niche for those who want to educate but don't know where to start. This course helps those who don't want to do a training and assessment certificate for if they're not in Australia. This course is not compulsory. However, it's helpful. If everyone out there is offering a Lash course for students that have no idea because they feel adequate and expert enough to do that, I feel like I have enough knowledge to pass on this aspect of a Lash business. I've worked with other Lash artists and Lash businesses to formulate this course in a way that will benefit you to do Lash training effectively. As you know, there's a burden in the industry on people who train saying, everyone's training now, no one should be training. Well, we're trying to help that. We're trying to stop that. We're trying to help people who want to train and probably have the skills and knowledge and expertise to train, make that course. So just because you're really good at lashes and you're really good at business, you might not actually know how to train students properly, how to assess them properly, how to make activities that work within the assessments to ensure that the students have grasped the skill by the time they have to apply lashes themselves. This is what this course does. So no, it's not accredited. It is a private course. However, we do have recognition in the industry and by beauty insurance companies now, including Sparrow Insurance. So if you complete our course and contact Sparrow Insurance and tell them that you've completed our course, they will allow you to insure yourself and your business as a business that offers education in the beauty space. So we are working on making more businesses, beauty insurance businesses aware of us, but we're slowly growing and people are coming to us because they've heard of us. So this is what we want. I don't really frown upon other people discussing things like, they shouldn't be training. They shouldn't be training. I believe there's a lot of people in the industry that should be training that aren't because of whatever blockages are in the way. Sorry, I'm getting really nervous with my words. I don't believe that there should be a certain select few people training lashes. I feel like everyone should be given the opportunity to include this in their business. And this is why I've created this course. And it's gotten a really good response. So we're going to keep promoting it. But no, it is not accredited. Facts. You have 12 months access from enrollment. So you can log in and log out and come back to it. If you're really busy, you can take some time off. As I mentioned before, you can complete it in your own time. So you can do one activity a night before you go to bed, after you put the kids to sleep, or you can just smash through it. Students that have smashed through it and gotten it out of the way have completed it within a couple of weeks. Your final assessment is a Lash manual. So if you haven't started a Lash manual and corroborating evidence and tasks and pictures and stuff for your Lash manual for your students, I would suggest you get on that whilst you're undertaking the course, so you don't have to walk away from the course whilst you create your manual, as it's quite a tasking job. Certificates are given out when all payments for the course have been paid in full. So if you're on a payment plan, which we do offer, as we understand that the outlay might be a little bit expensive for some people, all your payments need to be completed and paid before we can provide you with the certificate. We used to give out certificates before the payments were completed. However, some people have just ignored us once they've gotten that certificate, which is pretty silly because at the end of the day, I'm not going to endorse someone that just because they've got our certificate, if they've haven't paid for the course. So I hate talking about money, but unfortunately business is business and that is what we have to do. So if you complete the course within a month and you're on a 6-month payment plan, you'll need to pay out the 6 months before we can give you a certificate or we can endorse you and give you our logo. Also, with assessments, I usually mark them within 24 hours. I get a notification when an assessment has been submitted. I don't need to be emailed and or messaged on Instagram saying, hey, I've just submitted something. The program lets me know or lets our team know, and we'll assess it as soon as we can. We do generally 99% of the time do them within 24 hours, usually within 12, but I'll just say 24 to cover my backside in case I can't do it. These are some of our student reviews. So we've got Linnea. Bridget and Kayla, so they've left us, we've got 5-star reviews on our page. If you go to the course dashboard, you will see that our students have left 5-star reviews, and they're all training now. They're all educating. They've all taken that next step in growing their business, so we're super proud of them all. We keep in touch with them. If you tag us in your post, we'll repost. I keep in touch with all of them, really. So whenever I see them post something, I share it on our page. I try to engage with them to make their businesses active on Instagram, because I believe engagement and supporting each other is really important in this industry. There's too many bitches going around, so I try to be as supportive as I can. Potential training earnings. So if you include education within your Lash business, there is a whole income stream that you are potentially going to earn. There are some comprehensive Lash courses that I've seen up to $5,000 per student. These are really in-depth courses, so they'd be 5-day training, a lot of mentoring afterwards, a lot of support, products. However, if you are, you can do it. So it's not unachievable. A lot of Lash courses are underpriced. However, I feel like it's because they haven't been taught they haven't worked out the cost, that they are the cost variables. So if you're going to spend 2 days working with a client, and a student, and you're going to charge them $500, you could have been doing lashes all day and you would have made more. So everything has to be relatable. Yeah, so you can look at it like that. By adding education to your Lash business, you're adding a new income stream, as I've mentioned. You're scaling upwards and securing that bag. And the better you are at educating, the more students you're going to have. So, and you can do Lash training once a month, once a week, every day. It depends on what you want to do. An average Lash course is around 1,800 to 2,000 Australian dollars. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I know in Aussie dollars. I think it's the same worldwide in different currencies. But yeah, so, and I've worked out a little graph for you to see. So let's say you decide to charge $2,000 a student, and you do 5 students, you make 10 grand. So if you do 5 students in, say we don't accept 1-day or courses, because we believe that's not enough time to learn lashes. It should be a minimum of 3 days. So keep that in mind. If you do enroll in our course, we feel like 3 days is a really good, and that includes ongoing mentorship. So we believe that your students should come back after a couple of weeks, or provide evidence that they're still training after those 3 days, just to keep in check, because I wouldn't feel confident teaching someone lashes and then sending them on their way and never talking to them again. So keep that in mind when you're planning your course. So yeah, so if you charge $2,000 and you do a day course, you offer a training course, say for 3 days, and you've got 5 students for those 3 days, that's $10,000. That's pretty good for 3 days work. And then all the mentoring and stuff won't be too much time, won't be that time consuming afterwards. And if you've got 10 students, it's $20,000. So say you do 5 students a week, 1 training session a week, so 3 days of that week and 3 days the next week, $20,000. And then that's not including if you sell products and things like that. This is just training. So the potential training earnings are endless, really. So as I mentioned, you're expanding your source of income. So for me right now, I pretty much train students. So this is just a really rough pie. Is it a pie graph? I don't even know. I train students 37% of the time. I lash. I'm decreasing my lashing hours because my back is really sore, and I've done it for 12 years. Retail, we sell a lot of products, and then online services, and then other 1.9%. So by adding training students, it'll probably earn you more than what you would lashing. So it's a really good way to expand your source of income for your business, and lead to other options that you can include later on once you've accrued that income from training. What it takes to be a great trainer. Brand recognition, as I've touched on. Prepare yourself. Have you structured how you will train your students? Where will you train them? When will you train them? How will you train them? What content will you include? Are you going to just use basic information about what a C-curl is? Like, you want really good content for them to like walk away being the best at what they can do, because that'll make you look good. Great content. We never stop learning, and what you teach your students will never be the same going forward. Always upskill. Always try to find the next best thing to include in your education, and don't just use basic shit that's been around for 10 years. It's so boring. It's really like, try to include as much new information and detailed stuff that other trainers wouldn't do, because that will set you apart from all the others. So you want people to talk about you and say, you know what? Because people do. People discuss what trainer does what trainer. I end up in conversations like this all the time. Um, Unfortunately, they're mostly negative from other people trying to get me to side, but I don't side. I just listen. But people will discuss what a trainer includes in their course. Be that point of difference and be the person who includes something that not everyone else is doing, because anyone can literally talk about cyno acrylic, 0.15 lashes, B curls, C curls. Who cares? Be different. So we go through all of that for you and help you differentiate yourself. What qualifies you to be a trainer? Why should you train? Who are you? Like, why do you think you should train? How long have you been doing lashes for? Would you go to high school with a teacher who's been a teacher for a year and expect them to give you an ATAR of 99%? 99? No, you wouldn't. Why do you want to train? Where is your experience from? What training have you done for yourself? What business things have you included yourself in? Where have you worked? What's your client base? How many clients do you service? How long have you been in the industry for? Do you attend networking events? Are you well known in the industry? Like, what things? I've made a spelling mistake. Time to get out of your comfort zone. If you've been doing the same thing for years and you really know the content and you want to include training, then I recommend this is for you. Providing support. Make sure you do enough research to support your students. Your students will come to you and ask you questions because you are the pinnacle of everything Lashes to them. You need to make sure that you're well versed in all education and information in the industry, whether it be about business, lash application, retention problems, how to network, how to contact other, how to supply. You don't have to tell them where you supply manufacturers are from, but you need to be able to answer all the questions that you can see them asking you. You need to be ready. When you're training, it's also good to use visual aids and get them to touch the products and things like that, so they can get used to what they're going to be using in lash appointments. And you need to be well versed in all of that. So that's pretty straightforward. And then keeping your students happy, always seek and ask for feedback. Don't be scared to ask your students how they think you're going as a trainer, because you can improve for the next session. We all have to start somewhere. If you're nervous about training, maybe train one-on-one first, sit with one person, get to know them and train them by themselves before you do classes. So you gain that confidence in what you're presenting to them. And then when you say things out loud, you realize what you're missing or what's not, really relatable or appropriate. So go through it with one person so you can pick out the flaws or what you can scrap or what you've missed, because, when you, like I said, when you say it out loud, you realize what you're missing. So you can always do that. What's in the online educator course? Okay, so the topics that we've got are learning styles. Everyone trains differently and learns differently. How are you going to combat this to involve all your students' needs? So some people have a photographic memory. Some people like touching things. Some people, read things and they can absorb it straight away. Or some people need to do a skill after watching someone else do it. So we go through all of these so you can learn how to include activities which encompass all of these different skills to help your students, because not everyone's going to learn the same. So you need to be on top of that, and you need to be aware of what student learns how when you're in class, so you can help them in particular if they need it. So you have to know your students. So yeah, like I said, incorporate activities which encompass all your students' preferred way of learning. Oopsies.